In the Gauḍīya Math, the first Vyāsa Pūjā took place on February the 24th, 1924, when Śrīla Prabhupada's disciples celebrated his 50th birthday. This festival took place at number 1, Uttadingi Junction Road in Calcutta.
So it's interesting to note, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta had initiated his first disciple in 1906. He was born in 1874, so help me for a minute and count the years. 84, 94, 04, and 2. He was 32 years old. His guru, Bhaktivinoda and Gaurkishore, they were both living at the time. But not a lot is known about that, but he initiated his first disciple or first devotee into Harinam in 1906. Then in 1918, he became a sannyasi. During the Guru-Purnima festival, he became a sannyasi in 1918. But now we have just heard that the first Vyāsa Pūjā was performed in 1924 when on his 50th birthday. So since the time he was 32 years old, he had a disciple or more disciples. Slowly there were many disciples. But the first Vyāsa Pūjā was not officially recognized and celebrated until 1924 when he was 50 years old. So one thing we learn from this is that Kṛṣṇa consciousness is not just a set of rules and festivals and rituals that we must do. Kṛṣṇa consciousness is the evolution of consciousness. Upwards, which is in a sense backwards, meaning going back to your original state of consciousness. Coming out of material consciousness, withdrawing from material consciousness and drawing inward towards Kṛṣṇa. So it is not just, as I said, a set of rules, a set of functions. We have a guru, so therefore we celebrate. It must be a real thing. The real celebration of guru-pūjā, as we may hear in this talk, or we certainly hear in other talks and articles, is a daily function, actually. The real and supermost worship of the guru is to live by his order, to receive the instruction of the guru and follow that. That is the highest standard of worship, and that we should be doing on a daily basis, not just once in a year. Although this festival is supposed to be with some feeling, it must have some heart affection within, more or less, it is a ritual type of festival with flowers and procedures, and there is a lot of show in it. It will look very good here on the camera. It looks very good, very colorful. But on the day-to-day, the show is gone. There's not a lot of show on the day-to-day. But here is where the quality of the gold, the quality of the metal is put to test. Here is where it enters the fire. The test is made in the fire. That is day-to-day. The real worship of Guru is how much we are surrendered to following his instruction. And then the antithesis of that is just the opposite. The rejection of the order of the Guru, refusing to follow his instruction, that is the worst type of step or consciousness that a disciple can manifest. You follow. The best thing is to follow his order. The worst thing is to reject his order. We read Śrīla Purī Mahārāja was saying the other day that even if the order of the Guru is painful for you to follow, you should never argue against it. You should never criticize anything that he has said, and you should not reject his order. Even if it's painful to remain silent and follow his order. You may find it painful. Still, you should bear that pain. Somehow or another, under the order of the Supreme Lord, that pain is meant for you. It is good for you. Somehow or another. It may even be unexplainable, but it should be accepted. The worst thing we can do is to reject the order of our Guru. We reject our order of our Guru, and then we will say, well, he is not our Guru. He's not Guru. And then the question comes, then why you accept it in the first place? Were you a fool? And all those other people, they're also fools? We should first consider, will we follow the Guru according to his order? Then only we should come forward to take initiation. It is not like in marriage. There is marriage, And then after some time, if some people aren't happy together, they may file for a divorce in the court. But under the laws of God, under religion, there is no divorce. So you have time to think about it. If you want to get married, there's an engagement period and so forth. Once you marry, that's all. There is no turning back from that point. Now, in the modern world, there is some arrangement, but that is nothing arrangement. Right? In the religious world, there is no such arrangement for that. Life is about making decisions and sticking with them. So we should consider, before we take initiation, are we serious to follow the order of the Guru? And if we are, then we may happily accept initiation. And then we should live by that order, whatever order and service we have been given. No, I'll tell more as we go.
The Sanskrit word Vyāsa means to divide, to expand, or to distribute. Because he divided the one Veda into 4 parts, the Rig, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva, and also expanded the explanation of the Vedic knowledge in works like Mahabharata and other histories and Puranas, the sage Sri Kṛṣṇa Dvaipayana was given the title Veda Vyāsa. In his Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote that the same title could be given to Vrindavan Das Thakur. Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohi Veda Vyas Chaitanya Lilera Bash Vrindavana Das. Veda Vyas narrated the pastimes of Krishna in the Bhagavatam. Vrindavan Das Thakur performed the duties of Vyasadeva in recounting the pastimes of Chaitanya. Bhagavate Krishna Lila Varanila Veda Vyas Chaitanya Lilate Vyasa Vrindavana Das. Just as Vrindavan Das Thakur was given the title Vyas for expanding the descriptions of Chaitanya's Leela in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, the spiritual master similarly performs the work of Vyasadeva by distributing knowledge of the Lord to the conditioned living entities. For this reason, the adoration offered to him on his advent is called Vyāsa Pūjā.
So if you followed that, there was Vyasadeva. He compiled and divided the Vedic literature into its different departments as we have it today. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned that Vrindavan Das Thakur, who wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat, he is the Vyasadeva of Chaitanya Leela. So from here, this is what is called spiritual thinking. A progressive way of thought is established. That the representative of the Leelas of the Lord, originally Vyas, and later Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who represents their knowledge, who represents their Leelas pastimes, that is called Vyas. Who will disseminate that? Vyas divided and disseminated that knowledge. So who will disseminate that? That is Vyas. In Chaitanya Leela, this was first done by Vrindavan Das Thakur. So then it is established, what is the work of the Guru? There are many qualifications of a Brahmin, of a sadhu, of a sannyasi. Many qualifications are there. Qualifications of the Guru are also there. Many people overlook this in the modern world. The qualification is the dress, his beard, his hair, how big his ashram is. Gurudev. These are not any of the qualifications that are mentioned in the Shastras. That he must have a big ashram. Maybe he has no ashram. That he has a gray beard or a black beard or no beard at all. Or short hair or long hair or shaved head at all. None of these are the qualifications. These are not even the characteristics. About his nature, there are many things are said. But it comes down to the bottom, what we say in English now, the bottom line, the foundational principle of the Guru is he must disseminate the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. He must bear that to others. He must distribute that to others. Do you follow this point? So who does that work, he is also considered to be then, not Vyasadeva himself. He may be considered to be the Vyas of that preaching campaign, but generally we don't call like that, but we call as the representative of Vyas. And thus, this day, as we celebrate here, Vyāsa Pūjā, as we celebrated last week, Śrīla Prabhupada's Vyāsa Pūjā, as we celebrate in Kartik, Śrīla Purī Mahārāja's Vyāsa Pūjā, Śrīla Sridhar Mahārāja's Vyāsa Pūjā. Many Vyāsa Pūjas are there. Not one, not two, not a dozen. Currently in the world, we're happy to say there are hundreds of Vyāsa Pūjas being celebrated in the world. Devotees gathering, celebrating the birthday, appearance day of their Guru, who is doing what? Who is distributing Krishna consciousness. who is distributing the Vedic knowledge, who is distributing the knowledge of Chaitanya Lila. They're celebrating that. So we're talking about universal principles, not monopolies. Only it will be kept by one or two or a few. Universal principles. Whoever will rise to that occasion, he may qualify to be taken as the representative of Vyāsa. It is not anyone's claim by anything other than performing that activity, not by birth. One cannot claim to be the representative of Vyāsa by birth, but only by doing the work of Vyasadeva. Then one may be taken in that way.
The Vyāsa Pūjā pastimes of Srimad Mahaprabhu have been described by Vrindavan Das Thakur in the 5th chapter of Madhya Kanda in the Chaitanya Bhagavat and commented on by our most worshipful Śrīla Prabhupada in his Gauḍīya Bhashya. The Shruti say that from the moment one feels detachment, one is given respite from material sense enjoyment and attains a taste of devotional service to the Lord. There is no preordained time or place for this to occur. Someone who has lost all interest in sense gratification becomes a homeless wanderer, parivrajaka, until he takes shelter at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. The words Vyāsa Pūjā mean nothing more than this acceptance of shelter or surrender at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. The institution is obligatory for all the 4 stages of life, but those in the renounced order are warned to be especially dutiful in carrying it out. The servitors at the Gaudiya Math annually take up the performance of the Vyāsa Pūjā with a spirit of pride. They set aside the Kṛṣṇa Panchami Tithi in the month of Magh as a special occasion for this performance. Traditions for celebrating Vyāsa Pūjā vary somewhat in different religious schools. Brahmins in any of the 4 ashrams, brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha or sannyas, are all said to be under the shelter of Vyāsa, their guru. As a result, performing Vyāsa Pūjā forms a part of their daily ritual service. The actual Vyāsa Pūjā celebration as an annual festival day is meant to serve as a special occasion to remember one's own spiritual master. Vyāsa Pūjā also means offering everything to the service of the spiritual master in the form of works conducive to the fulfillment of his wishes. For this reason, our predecessor spiritual master, Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur, setting an example for us in the role of a follower of Rupa Goswami, humbly prayed to our principal guru, Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam, Stapitam Yena Bhutale, Swayam Rupakara Mahyam Tadati Swapadantika. When will Sri Rupa Goswami, who fulfilled the wishes of Lord Chaitanya on this earth, give me shelter under his lotus feet?
So in general, Vyāsa is the mūla-guru, principal guru. That's in general. There are different arrangements. Let me see, just to have an example. In various countries, you have armies, divisions of the armies. You have a commander of those armies, and so forth. And in general, you look, and they call him general. He's in charge of the army. But during a state of war, the last of the last, the prime minister of the country, or the president of the country, he is known as the supreme commander-in-chief. He is actually in charge of the armies. Now, in the general functioning world, that general, he is in charge. But in the ultimate issue, he is not the highest authority. That prime minister or president, he is the higher authority. So in general, the mūla-guru, the original guru, is Vyasadeva. But when we enter into rasa, what is called rasa, particular mellows of devotion, then that just becomes a general conception. And the mūla-guru of our sampradaya is Sri Rupa Goswami. Therefore, we are called Rupanugas, not Vyasanugas. We're not called the followers of Vyāsa. Sometimes it is said we're spreading Vedic culture, but actually we're not spreading Vedic culture. Vedic culture does not allow so many things by women. They cannot perform so many of the duties. In Vedic culture, the ladies cannot cook in the temple. There's so many restrictions in Vedic culture. Only the born Brahmins can have upanayana. All types of things. Restrictions. We do not follow all those restrictions. We are actually not Vedic. We follow more of the Pancharatric, Narada Pancharatra. It's called Narada Pancharatra. The worship of Radha and Krishna is hard to find in the Vedas, but there's much of it mentioned in the Pancharatra. We follow the Panchasamskara for initiations, purifications. So actually, we went one in general Vyāsa, but when we go deeper into the departments of Krishna consciousness, there we find that the head of all the departments in rasa is Śrīla Rupa Goswami. He is the mūla-guru, means he is the root, and we are considered the followers of Sri Rupa. So although it is Vyāsa Pūjā day, it would not be complete day without mentioning Rupa Goswami on this day.
The most merciful of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes was to bestow love for Krishna. Whatever Śrīla Rupa Goswami set aside for his followers as medicine for the disease of disinterest in the Lord's service is the ideal gift to be given the Guru on the occasion of Vyāsa Pūjā. Vyāsa Pūjā thus ultimately means the same mood of surrender and faith to the predecessor spiritual masters. Mahaprabhu came to bestow the gift of devotion in the Unnata Ujjvala Rasa, that is, the most elevated taste of the effulgent or divine erotic mood that was never given by the Lord in any of his previous incarnations. Lord Gaurasundara is the combined form of Radha and Madhava. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj, who has taken the mood and bodily hue of Srimati Radharani. Is there anyone other than he who could reveal the most confidential wealth of devotional practice? And this Lord empowered his dearest personal associate, Śrīla Rupa Goswami, and caused a perfect understanding of all aspects of spiritual knowledge to awaken in him. Therefore, Sri Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami said, Shri Rupa Hridaya Prabhu Shakti Sancharila Sarva Tattva Nirupiya Paravina Korila. The Lord filled Rupa's heart with spiritual power. He explained all the aspects of devotional doctrine to Rupa and made him expert.
So, there is an example given by Jiva Goswami about the holy name. He compares it to a circle. A circle. And this circle has a higher point and has a lower point. Well, the holy name moves all around the circle from the lowest point up to the highest point. So, when we first contact the holy name of Krishna, where do you suspect we are on the circle? The higher point or the lower point? We're on the lower point. So the holy name can go down even to those who have no qualification, even to the lowest point, those who are not devotees. They may also take the name of Krishna. Those who are filled with sinful activities, those who are addicted to intoxication and so many things, they are found to take the name of Krishna. The name of Krishna is so merciful. It goes to the lowest point and even below, to the lowest of the low. In low, there's even low below that, lowest of the low. The holy name will go to the lowest of the low. And the holy name will carry us to the highest of the high also, to the top of the circle and beyond, highest of the high. But we have to remember that along the way, qualification is required. Krishna consciousness is about self-improvement. It is about qualification, not just assuming I have it, I got it, I did it, I'm doing it, it's over. It's not like that. It's like in school. You finish one day's lesson, but there's another day, and that's tomorrow, and there'll be another lesson tomorrow. I was asking Giri Maharaj about the boys and their mantra, their completed homa, and he said, no, they're just beginning. They already learned so many mantras for doing the homas, but he told me, no, they're just beginning. There's so many mantras, yet they have to learn. So we should not be like a foolish student who stays in school for a couple of weeks and then thinks he finished the course or knows all the knowledge that there is to be known. As he closes one book, he must have the intelligence to know shortly he'll be opening another one. The end of one book for an intelligent person is the beginning of another. So there's always one more step. We should be conscious in our Krishna consciousness like that. We should not be satisfied that, I have this. We should be aware, no, I have to progress. So it is said that Mahaprabhu, the distinguishing character of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is that he comes to give what has never ever been given before, which you cannot even find within the Vedas unless you are a very, very keen reader, very difficult to find. That is called Ujjvala Ras. That is the most intimate, mellows, of confidential service to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. The most intimate mellows of love and affection. He came to give that. Then why you don't have that? He came to give that, and we have all come to Krishna consciousness. Why don't we have that? Because we are not qualified to receive that gift yet. First is the gift of the holy name, and through the holy name, then we become qualified to receive this great gift of divine love that Mahaprabhu has come to give, anxiously has come to give to every individual in the world, providing they may qualify. To receive the holy name, he he removed all qualification. No qualification necessary. Those of you who have been on Sankirtan in Western countries, you have seen the holy name goes right into sometimes nightclubs, bars, and dancing shows. Sometimes the devotees just go right into these clubs, chanting in Sankirtan. And those people who are intoxicated, they sometimes stand up on the table and they start to sing and chant Hare Krishna, fall over on the floor, and this goes down the street. So the holy name goes to anybody and everybody. It goes to even those people who are the most unqualified. But to actually get this Krishna prema and the mood of prema, this very intimate mood of serving Krishna and divine love, well, that requires some qualification. We cannot just give that to drunkards and unqualified people. And even neophyte devotees, they're not qualified for that. There must be progress. Then first we are invited, come here, sit down. Later we are told, stand up and receive this gift. But that standing up, that takes something. How to stand up and receive the gift that's never been given in the world before. Since the day of Brahma began, since the earth has been created, Mahaprabhu came to give a gift that's never ever been given before. It's a mellow of love. It's a mellow sweetness of love and devotion, never given before. How to receive that? So we have to qualify through the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Therefore, that must be taken very, very seriously. Where do we get this qualification? We get this by following the order of Guru. If we don't follow the order of our Guru, we can go on chanting for millions of lifetimes. We will never get the qualification to receive this gift of Mahaprabhu.
Kavi Karnapur, the son of Mahaprabhu's beloved associate Shivananda Sen, wrote 2 excellent verses in his play Chaitanya Chandradoya Nataka, which describe the blessings that the Lord showered upon Rupa Goswami. Kalini Vrindavana Keli Varta, Lutetitam Kyapatitum Vishaya, Kripamritena Vishachich Devas, Tatreva Rupam Satanachanancha. In the course of time, the tidings of Krishna's divine sports in Vrindavan had been lost. To reveal them again in detail, the Lord gave installments of his mercy to Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan in the holy land of Vrindavan. Priyasvarupe Daityasarupe, Premasvarupe Sahajabirupe, Nijanarupe Prabhu Ekarupe, Tatanarupe Swagirasarupe. The Lord explained the Rasa Shastra to Rupa Goswami in a way he did to no other person. For Rupa was the dear friend of Surup Damodar. His true identity was that of the Lord's beloved divine love, was his intrinsic nature, and he also possessed natural beauty. Mahaprabhu knew him to be like unto himself, and indeed he was verily the expansion of the Lord. In this way, Kavi Karnapur described the way in which Mahaprabhu blessed Rupa and Sanatan in his play Chaitanya Chandradoya. These 2 great devotees were also great favourites of all the Lord's associates. If ever anyone went to Vrindavan, Mahaprabhu would eagerly ask for news about the brothers, about what they were eating and how they were performing austerities in their bhajan. Yeah. All of Mahaprabhu's principal devotees treated Śrīla Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami with love and respect. If someone returned home to Bengal or Puri after a pilgrimage to Vrindavan, all the Lord's associates would inquire, "Tell us how Rupa and Sanatana are doing in Vrindavan. What kind of austerities do they perform, and what do they eat? How do they manage to engage in devotional service for a full 24 hours every day?" The devotee who had returned from Vrindavan will praise Sri Rupa and Sanatana Goswami in the following way. The 2 brothers have no fixed residence, but lie down each night beneath a different tree in the forest. They sometimes take a meal at a Brahman's house, or go from door to door, merely taking a handful of cooked food from each home. This way, their meals consist of only dry bread and fried chickpeas that they eat without a spirit of enjoyment. Their only possessions are their water pots, quilts, and their torn loincloths that they wear. Even so, they constantly chant Krishna's holy names, discuss his pastimes, and dance jubilantly. They engage in Krishna bhajan almost 24 hours a day, sleeping only half an hour, and some days when they are absorbed in chanting the holy names, they do not rest at all. They either write books in the divine raptures of devotional service, or spend their time talking or thinking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The devotees felt great joy at hearing about Rupa and Sanatana's expertise in bhajan. In fact, such amazing depths of devotion and renunciation are not surprising in those who have received the blessings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami said as such in his invocatory verse in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, I worship the lotus feet of Lord Hari in his form as Chaitanya Dev, for through the inspiration he has given my heart, I have undertaken the work of writing this book, even though I am a most miserable wretch. The closeness of Sri Rupa to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the reason that the revered acharyas of our line have shown much dedication to his leadership. Krishnadas Kaviraj concludes every single chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita with the same words of reverence for Rupa and his foremost disciple Raghunath Das. Shri Rūpa-Raghunātha pada jar ash, Chaitanya Charitamrita kahe Krishna Das. Krishna Das, who prays to rejoin the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Raghunath, recounts the nectarian biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Our beloved spiritual master taught us to show our respects to our Para-Guru with the following prayer. Nama Bhakti Vinodaya, Sachidananda Namine, Gaura Shakti Surupaya, Rupanuga Varayate. I offer my obeisance to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who possesses a form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. He is the manifestation of Gauranga's potency, and is the best of the followers of Sri Rupa Goswami. Indeed, during his Aprakrita Leela, our most merciful Prabhupada made special mention of taking Sri Rupa and Raghunath as our lead, Anugatya. In his last instructions given on December the 23rd, 1936, he told, all of you, please preach the message of Rupa and Raghunath with great enthusiasm. The ultimate object of our desires is to become specks of dust at the lotus feet of the followers of Rupa Goswami.
So, as I said earlier, the what is the duty of the guru is to distribute the knowledge of Vyāsa. What Vyāsa is given in so many departments of knowledge for the perfection of human life. Then also it was mentioned that what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself in this Yuga avatar. So what is his mission? The Guru must naturally distribute that. But Mahaprabhu himself, he appointed one person above all to be at the head of that distribution. Again, what he came to give. What he came to give is this rasa, Ujjvala rasa, particular type of rasa, mellow of conjugal rasa. The method to receive it is the holy name. So sometimes we say that Mahaprabhu's gift is the holy name. That is true when the assumption is also there. Yes, and through the process of the holy name, then one will receive this mellow of rasa. But if we think that no, just the holy name without nothing attached to it, this is all he came to give, this falls short of the understanding of the gift of Mahaprabhu. Because the holy name of Krishna has been given in many yugas, been given in so many yugas. Vishnu Sahasranam has been there for thousands of years before Mahaprabhu came. Name of Govinda, Madhava, so many names are there. So just this, the Sankirtan, the prime benediction for humanity at large. The benediction is within the gift of the holy name. Do you follow?
Yes.
So specifically, Mahaprabhu himself appointed Rupa Goswami as the head. And it is mentioned here in Śrīla Purī Mahārāja's words that generally Rupa has been fondly appreciated by so many successor acharyas due to his closeness to Mahaprabhu. He was so close. Well, what does this closeness mean? How close he was? He lived in the next room, maybe. Or maybe he just lived on the same street. He lived so close to Mahaprabhu. Many people feel they knew our Guru, Prabhupada. People from the world. Oh yes, Swami used to buy biscuits or something from my shop. So they think they know him because he used to shop. Others say, no, no, he used to collect some pens and paper from me. I know him, you see. And then, of course, there are his god brothers and others, and certainly they must know him. But many people say, yes, yes, I know Swamiji, I know Swamiji. Because when a person becomes famous, becomes great, everybody likes to then emphasize their connection to such a person, because then they are in fortunate position also. But we say those who know him best are those who serve him most dearly. They will know him best. So this Rupa Goswami was very dear to Mahaprabhu internally because of his service. And he became so close to Mahaprabhu because of his service, but his service was at a distance. He didn't live in the same building. He wasn't Mahaprabhu's personal assistant. He didn't bring his food. He didn't wash his clothes. He didn't do these things for him. He didn't travel with him to South India. He served Mahaprabhu at a distance, And in English we call that, it is called the vicarious experience. The vicarious experience. It is like this. Sometimes we have heard that a young man dies in a war somewhere or in an accident somewhere. And the mother, who's thousands of miles away, they immediately know, oh, my son has died. They know. No telegram, no word, they know. Somehow they know. It's rather mysterious. The thing has happened to someone else. But because of love's attachment, another person, he knows that. There is some attachment there. And therefore they know. They know. Well, in Krishna Lila, many things are like that. Something that is happening to Krishna or to Krishna's devotees, and the result of that shows up somewhere else. For example, this is a little bit different, but when Haridas Thakur was beaten with a stick, sometimes we wonder, oh, how Mahaprabhu allowed him to be beaten. He'll be beaten and so much pain, but he's pure devotee of Krishna, why he has to suffer? Well, if we look and read about that according to the authorized biographers, actually Haridas Thakur never felt anything. And later, he saw all the whipping marks. They never came on his own back. He saw they all came on the back of Mahaprabhu. And this, of course, this was very painful. That was even probably more painful for Haridas. Probably he would have preferred it himself. Of course, no one can harm the Supreme Lord. So then that comes. Oh, actually, my Lord protected me, covered me with his own body. No one could see, but he covered me. They were beating him. We understand. You give good beating to devotee. That beating goes to Krishna. Good beating you give a devotee, that goes to Krishna. That's a particular thing we should be careful about. Abuse of devotees. What are the devotees? If we give a beating to a devotee, it may go to Mahaprabhu, it may go to Krishna. So, but means something is done here, reaction to that comes somewhere else. Now I'm avoiding giving so many examples because there are many people here who are not qualified to understand those examples. But there are many examples in Krishna Lila when something happens between Krishna and his devotees, and another devotee at a great distance, he shows the symptoms of that love exchange. He's 2 kilometers away, some distance away. But the symptom of that love exchange, there's some intensity and there's some ecstasy in the Leela of Radha and Krishna. And that devotee at a far distance, he also starts shaking. Right? That's called vicarious. He is connected there to what is going on with the divine couple, with the devotees of Krishna. He is connected through service, through love and affection. It's very powerful. It is not like a wire. A wire is nothing in comparison to affection. Affection and attachment can connect even beyond the universe. And actually it does. Because as we'll hear, Krishna is beyond the universe. His leelas are beyond the universe. His devotees go and reside eternally beyond the universe. What will connect us to them? Some people think just being in the institution, you're connected. They compare the institution to a boat. Just stay in the boat. We call them the boat people. but not just by being in any institution. Otherwise, some people will fault the Gauḍīya Mutt. The institution is established by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta. We should not fault any institution, because the institution it's just an arrangement in this world. It's the people in the institution that make it what it is or what it isn't. You see? And it may have been great, it may even be great at present, but if great is not there, if devotees are not there, then Kṛṣṇa is not there. It doesn't matter who made the institution 500 years ago or 100 years ago or 10 years ago or yesterday. If no Kṛṣṇa consciousness is there, then there's nothing. It's just a name. Kṛṣṇa is not simply waiting in that institution for something to happen. He is wherever it is happening. That's where he is. And also he's not limited. It will only be in one place at once. He may be in many places simultaneously. So Rupa Goswami was so close to Mahaprabhu through his service and through following the order of Mahaprabhu. There is no service without the order of Guru. Service is there, but it's going on by there's no order. What type of service it is? There's no service. Through the order of Guru, service is established. By performing this service, we are drawn close to the feet of Kṛṣṇa. In the case, Rupa Goswami is drawn so close to Mahaprabhu that he just entered the heart of Mahaprabhu. He can know everything what is in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That, when it says he was close, that is what it means. He was so close. He understood the mind and heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this was revealed in their Leela, in their pastimes during Ratha Yatra. Mahaprabhu was singing in front of Jagannath. No one can understand what he says. Even those who hear what he says can't understand what it means. He's singing some verses by Bharat Muni and what's it called? Bharatanatyam Shastra or something. It's very confusing. Devotees couldn't understand. But Rupa Goswami, and also at that time Swarup Damodar, these two alone, they understood what is there in these words of Mahaprabhu. And Rupa Goswami, he put that to another verse. He wrote that in some poetry. And when Mahaprabhu saw this, he realized, oh, of course Mahaprabhu knows he's omniscient, but in the Leela that, oh, you have got my mind, you have got my heart. Huh? You know what is my heart, and you have given this out. He slapped his face. Just gave a slap. But actually he was very happy. So close to me you have come, that you know my heart. So that's what it means to be close to Mahaprabhu. It doesn't mean to live on the same street, to share the same apartment. I also used to live in the next room next to Prabhupada. I thought, well, I'm very lucky. And some new bhaktas would come around at the time, and I was in the next room in Juhu. You went up the top of the stairs, there was a room on the right, there was Prabhupada's, a room on the left, that was the sannyasi room. So that was a very prestigious room. But I tell you, many people went through that room. Went through and kept going. They didn't come so close to Prabhupada because they did not serve. We have to serve our Guru. Then by serving our Guru, then we become close to our Guru. Then we can understand what is in his heart, what are his intentions. Without service, we can never know. We can never know. Service is the key. And Rupa Goswami's service to Mahaprabhu was the key to his heart. And seeing all this arrangement, how this came out in Mahaprabhu, he appointed him. He will be the head of the Sampradaya. So currently it means also Guru must represent Rūpa-Raghunātha. We call it the line of Rūpa-Raghunātha. Why Raghunath? Because he's the student. There's a thing between the student and the teacher and the student. There is a transmission, this ideal transmission. The teacher wants to give something. What he gives, we must see it in the student. What became visible in Raghunath Das Goswami is at the top of the wave of devotion found anywhere in the universe. His subtlety, moods of devotion are showing us the highest perfection attainable by any living entity, time, space, or otherwise. Highest plane, shown in that disciple, Raghunath, Rūpa-Raghunātha. So, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta, he is advised one should catch the foot dust of the followers of this Rūpa-Raghunātha. What is this transmission going on between these two, which is originally born from the relationship of Rupa Goswami and Mahaprabhu, coming down and given to Raghunath Das? What is this line? What is this mood, this transmission? Those who are the followers of that, those who are the worshippers of that, the followers of that, we should seek the dust of their feet. Not just on our head, we should try to become that dust on their feet. And he said this repeatedly, again and again and again. The dust of the feet of the followers of Rūpa-Raghunātha. That is our only goal in life. But you should not think that means, oh, I'll go and sweep Guru Maharaj's room, a lot of dust comes out of there every day. I got it, and then we'll go off in our Jeep and drive off and have a soda somewhere and enjoy. Think, I've got it in a kavacha. Of course, I have some of that in a kavacha. Many of us have some of that tight holy foot dust of our guardians in a kavacha. But if we simply sleep with that kavacha, eat with that kavacha, and bathe with that kavacha, and swim and do all types of things, but we don't serve with that kavacha on our neck, then it is simply hanging there as an ornament, and it will not really have much effect. But if we serve with such kavachas, serve with such foot dust, actual dust, then that combination is very powerful. It is said, who has not got the foot dust of the devotees of the followers of Mahaprabhu, he can never perfect this human form of life. But there are many devotees you'll find, actually they didn't get the dust. They didn't get the dust. The shoe, the foot was on the shoe was moving, they didn't get any of that. We were very lucky, we had the whole shoe. We got all the dust that came along with it. But this is called poetic speech, figurative speech. It is good, that dust. And you see the common people, they jump. Janmashtami, I must have had 100 people touching my feet. Who they are, I don't even know. Most of them I'm hitting them back on the head. You know what that means? They touch, throw their sins. I touch on the head, goes back. Prabhupada taught us that. You don't know who these people are, they touch the feet, touch them on the head. You don't know. They just want to throw their sins on you. Thank you. Give them back. But if you're a disciple and you touch the Guru's feet and he touches your head, that's a blessing. He's not saying, go back to your foot. It's in his consciousness. So, but what do they want to do? They just want to come because they heard who touches feet gets free from sin. They didn't hear who touches feet, they get prema. They didn't hear. They heard who touches feet, they get free from sin. They're ready to jump, go down the dirt. Why? They know I'm a sinful man. They want to touch, and they want to throw all the sins somewhere. But that is not what it means. Just we'll take the dust. How to take the dust is through service. By becoming the obedient and surrendered servant to the order of our Guru, there lies this dust. Lots of this dust. Oceans of this dust, and we may bathe in that dust. Then that will be the perfection of our life.
Remain united in following the Ashraya Vigraha in order to satisfy the transcendental senses of the one, non-dual Supreme Truth. Make your way through this impermanent transitory life in whatever way you can, keeping the goal of worshipping the Lord foremost in your minds. Don't abandon this goal, even in the face of hundreds of dangers, insults, or persecutions. Don't lose your spirit if you see that the majority of people cannot accept the principle of selfless devotion to the Supreme Lord. Never abandon your bhajan, hearing and chanting Kṛṣṇa Katha, the sun of substance in your devotional life. Please always chant the name of the Lord, being humbler than a blade of grass and more tolerant than the tree. This body is like an aging cow, which in ancient times was meant to be offered up in sacrifice. Only we desire to offer the body to Kṛṣṇa in the sacrifice of the holy name established by Sri Krishna Chaitanya and his associates. We do not seek to become heroes performing great works or religious deeds. Our true being and our identity is to be the dust and the lotus feet of Sri Rupa-Prabhu in life after life. The stream that flows from Bhaktivinoda Thakur will never be dammed up. Remember this and vow to double your efforts to fulfill Bhaktivinoda Thakur's desires. Amongst you are many capable and worthy individuals. We seek nothing for ourselves. Our only motto is Adanas Trinamdantir Idam Yachi Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Paramboja Durisyam Janma Janmani. Taking grass between my teeth, I pray repeatedly that I may become a speck of dust at Sri Rupa Goswami's lotus feet birth after birth. While living in this world,
so when serving Krishna, if we want something in return, that is not service. That is not service. That is business. Many people say, When you meet them, I'm doing government service, I'm doing railway service, I'm doing some computer software service. This is not service. There's nothing to do with service. This is just a job. This is called karma. Karma, not seva. Seva has no karma attached to it. Karma has no result. We should not try to serve Krishna with a calculation what I will get from that. And if we are smart and we serve Krishna, and we go away at some point from that service, if you are more intelligent, you won't want to take anything away. There was a man, just consider, his name was Kṛṣṇa Shiv Pandit. He lived in Delhi. He was a trustee on a temple called Kalyan Chippiwada Temple, Radha Govinda Kalyan Chippiwada Temple. One day he was walking down the street at 7 in the morning and he met Prabhupada. Prabhupada was sleeping in a doorway. He didn't have a room, he had a blanket and he was sleeping in a door. And he'd just gotten up from sleeping, and of course when you know you sleep like that, you don't have a proper place for bath. So he had some water and he was washing his face. So this Kṛṣṇa Shiv Pandit, he could just see that this Swami is not a street Swami. In North India there are so many sadhus. They are not sadhus. They wear this color. They show up to beg rice and different things from houses and temples. And they smoke vidi, they smoke hookah. They don't have any knowledge. They don't have no tapasya, nothing. They're not, but they look like a sadhu. So generally, many of them will sleep on the door, on the street, here and there. So, but you could just see by his face, this man is not a street sadhu. He has the face of a very sophisticated man. So, so then he stopped and he spoke something. So, speaking with Prabhupada within 30 seconds, he could tell. Very sophisticated man here. Oh, Swamiji, why you're on the gate? Why you're sleeping on the door? He told, I came here to Delhi to do my publishing work from Vrindavan. I have no place. Therefore, I'm on the door. So this man arranged a room for Prabhupada to live, which then he used for several years. It was 2 rooms. And he arranged many things for Prabhupada at that time. And lastly, he gave 5,000 rupees to Prabhupada to help him go to USA later on. Of course, many people gave something, and arranged the publishing the books. And later, Prabhupada came back. He wasn't on the door. He's being carried in the palki. Huh? Sometimes we would carry him in a palki when going a few places. He came in a nice shining red ambassador. He had many disciples. This man, at the time, and he came to Prabhupada, and he said, Swami, I gave you everything to get you started. I helped you, got you from the street, put you in one room. I gave money and all. Now my son has got some disease. He needs operation. He needs operation. Please give me 5,000 rupees. Now, what do you think Prabhupada did? What do you think he did? He gave, no. He said, if I give you back that money, you lose your service to Krishna. He wouldn't give him the money. And Prabhupada had millions of rupees. The condition was, give me back my money. Prabhupada said, I can't give you back this service. You already gave it to Krishna. That's the first thing. And if I do it anyway, you lost everything. You got nothing. So, but nowadays, we'll come and serve Krishna, and then we want to leave, and then we'll think the ashram owes me something. Krishna owes me something. You're a thief. Everything in this universe belongs to Krishna. Anything that's not being used for Krishna now is stolen property. Do you understand? You have a job, you make money, and you don't spend for Krishna, you're going to hell for that job. I don't care what your job is. Your job may be saving the lives of little children. And you're being paid for that, and you keep that money, you'll go to hell for that. You won't go to heaven. All the money belongs to Krishna. All the land belongs to Krishna. All the buildings belong to Krishna. All the people belong to Krishna. God owns everything. He created everything. Everything is His energy. So He allows us to serve Him. He sends the energy to serve Him. Money, facility, everything. And after some time, we think, okay, Krishna owes me. All right, Krishna may pay you, but then you lost everything, what you did. Many arrangements can be made, but how we enter those arrangements, that is everything. There was a man, Professor Sanyal, very good example. He had a professor's position in Cuttack University. He's a disciple of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta. He used to get his monthly paycheck, cash that. Take that money and donate everything to his guru, the full amount. No, honestly, he doesn't know what his guru is going to do. Thank you, use for printing. Who knows? You know, have one festival, give to treasury. Nobody knows. He doesn't go with a calculation. Simply, he would go and give everything to his guru. He had a family, house, children, everything. Then, it's what Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta would do. Haribol Prabhu. What Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta would do, he would count that money, he'd take 50% of that, and he'd give it back to Sanyal and say, this is for your mutt. Mutt. He called his house a mutt. Now we call it your ashram, Grihastha ashram. But even better than an ashram is a mutt. It means a completely spiritual institution, a place of spiritual practices and spiritual activities. He told, this is for your mutt. Then Sanyal would take that 50% of his money, and he would live with his family. Now, he could have said, well, Guru Maharaj is only going to take 50%, so here's 50%. But then 50% he didn't give, right? He was a very smart disciple. He knew Guru Maharaj will not let me go down, so he just gave everything. Now he got he got all the credits, he got everything. But it wasn't a game. If Bhaktisiddhanta didn't give him one paisa, he would turn around and leave. He wouldn't, I gave this, I need this, I want this. He wouldn't do that. When we do this, what is the meaning? Of course, it happens, and it's forgotten, and whatever. We say the hell and all this stuff, but actually what it shows, it just shows the mundane mentality of the disciple. We may hear something about this in this argument. It just shows, when we argue with Guru, when we demand from Guru all this, it shows lack of faith and mundane mentality. That's all it shows. We have come to Kṛṣṇa, and although Kṛṣṇa is the cheater of the cheats, he never cheats his devotees. Who tries to cheat him, he cheats. That means cheater of the cheats. You cannot outdo Kṛṣṇa. But Kṛṣṇa never tries to outdo his devotees and leave them in a down position. So sometimes, just to prove to stupid people that devotion is like that, even when they're undeserving, even when they're in complete wrong mentality, completely wrong approach, the ashram of the Guru will help them. You see, Kṛṣṇa will help you. Why do you worry? Why do you worry? That worry and all that, that's just showing us the mundane mind and lack of faith. So, Kṛṣṇa consciousness, not a business. Even if Kṛṣṇa consciousness business is going on, it's not a business. It is all for Kṛṣṇa. A business means some individual or individuals there profiting more. I know some of my brothers, they used to give Prabhupada $100,000 every month. Tripurari Maharaj used to give $100,000 every month. $100,000. This ashram not seen $100,000 yet, by all its worth. And profit, they used to just give Prabhupada $100,000. Mother Jadharani used to collect $500 a day, 7 days a week for Prabhupada, every day. And with her, nearly 40, 50 other devotees. We gave thousands. We gave millions. And where it went? It went for spreading Kṛṣṇa consciousness. He printed 17 volumes Chaitanya Charitamrita, 25 volumes Srimad Bhagavatam. He built Bombay Temple, Vrindavan Temple, Mayapur Temple, these types of things. It went for these purposes. That's what it's for. But we do not think, oh, I'm giving this, I'll get that. If I left Kṛṣṇa consciousness today, I'd call my brother and say, send me one shirt and pants. Because I have enough intelligence not to take anything from Kṛṣṇa. Now I have so much intelligence like that. Of course, I hope that would never happen, but if it would, I'd call my brother. He's somewhere in the army. Send me one army pant and shirt. I'm going home. You're going home? Where's that? You've already been there 30 years. Might as well stay. Even he would tell me to stay. Why bother? Stay there. Already so much good you did. Why come home? Home is nothing. I'm just giving you a friendly example. Do you understand? If you're going to leave Krishna consciousness, don't think that Krishna owes you something, huh? But you did something. You were a thief before you came. You did some service, and while going, you want to be thief again. It doesn't belong to you. And one day he'll prove it to you. Oh, this house you live in, this body, he'll say, come, give me, get out. He'll broom you out from this body. You'll be flying in the sky. They say at that moment, sometimes you can look and see yourself laying there. Oh, there I am on the operating table. Who you are. You're a spirit soul, and you belong to Krishna also. Not like, okay, I'm free. I'm one free soul. Krishna has my body, has land, money, everything. I'm one Atma, I'm free. You're not free. The Atma is part of Krishna. Part and parcel of Krishna. It came from Krishna. In that way you are all little Krishnas, we call them. Little Krishnas. Huh? You have some of the quality of Krishna, but you're not the full Krishna. That's called Jiva, Jivatma. Krishna is Paramatma, Supreme Atma. You are Jivatma. Small thing we are. And that small thing we are, that also not belong to you, that belongs to Krishna. So some people say, well, in the real world, this is talk. This is not the real world. Bangalore is not the real world. New York is not the real world. University is not the real world, and that is not the real knowledge. The real world is called Vaikuntha. The real world, everyone is a servant of Krishna. This is reality. Nothing belongs to you. Everything belongs to Krishna. You are his property. You are his servant. And more than that, you are his slave also. There's one nice book written by Ramanuja devotees. It's called Slaves of God. It's all about the saints, the Alwars. They have taken service beyond service, slavery. We're the divine slaves of the divine Lord. What does it mean when I say you are slave? That means last chance gone. Everything gone. I am nothing. I am the property. If he says swim, I swim. If he says down, I'm down. If he says died, I died. He may dress me in ornaments or have me sacrificed in the fire. I'm a slave. Well, in this world, that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. To be the slave of any king or person or anything like that. It's horrible. Yet everybody in this world is slave to Maya. Maya will tell you have to pass urine. Simply you jump up and go. You're a slave to the call of nature. Even the biggest kings, all these things, they're slaves to material nature. Do you understand? That's a simple example, huh? No one can deny the call of nature. Nature means Maya. Slave to Maya.